Computer. Okay, we are officially live at our 2020 Tribe Call. Okay, so you guys, the goal of this this third Tuesday of every month is to really just break down food, nutrition, exercise programs if you're having problems. Our hope is that, like, going in when I post that video or that image that says we're going to have a team call or a tribe call, post your questions, like things that you want to hear about in this kind of call, because you're going to get all of us coaches. You're going to have a collection of, every coach, hopefully eventually, in our team that can help you with all of these questions that maybe you have, maybe you're afraid to ask, maybe you need a different opinion. The best thing about our team is that we are like a one size fits all. I will help you if you are under Joey. I will help you if you're under Vicky. Vicky will help you if you're under me. I mean, we all can speak into a point of your life that is different. So don't ever be afraid to ask any of us anything. I think that's what's so cool about this team is there's no real team divide. There's a unit that works together. So first off, I'm going to make these quick oats because I feel like it's a question I get probably every week, literally every week. And I want to show you just how simple it is. Okay, so I just get these jars, and they actually have better jars on Amazon now that have plastic lids. I highly recommend those because these get rusty and then they're kind of gross. So I usually make them on Sunday, but I wasn't home. So I make them enough through Sunday. So I think I need 5, right? Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Okay, so then I use quick oats. So these are just 1 minute quick oats. It has to be the quick oats. That's great. It has to be quick oats because you could use rolled oats or old-fashioned oats or whatever, but if you're going to notice that if they don't saturate as well, and they're going to be really hard in the morning. So I use a half a cup. So this is a quarter cup. So I use a half a cup, which counts as one of your yellows. Okay. And I fill them all up. And my kids love these. The really nice thing about quick oats is you can add like pumpkin spice and nutmeg and cinnamon and vanilla extract, which are all free in the container land. And you can make them taste like so many different things. You can add frozen fruit. Frozen fruit's going to give it, like, in the morning, it would be like, so if you were going to add frozen fruit, I would add it tonight, but only to 1 jar, because if you add them to all of them, that fruit by the end of the week is going to be pretty gnarly. But if you, let's say, like mangoes, I find are really yummy. Like if you cut up frozen mangoes and you put them in tonight, they're really good tomorrow morning. Frozen berries, really good tomorrow morning. Peaches, really good tomorrow morning, but only do 1 jar. So bananas, I would do the day of, like tomorrow morning, cut up your banana, add it, and just mix it. I eat them cold. I eat to nourish. I don't eat to enjoy in the morning. I don't have time for enjoyment. I have time to fuel. This is my favorite almond milk. It's the only one I like. It's from Trader Joe's, and I find it's the least expensive. But it's just the almond beverage vanilla unsweetened. So 1 cup of this counts as 1 teaspoon. And I'll go over that because that sounds really strange. Like you're like, but it's not a teaspoon, it's a cup. It's just how it counts as a calorie or a macronutrient in your diet. And then all I do is I don't measure because I don't even use enough to probably count as enough. I just fill to saturate. So it's probably, I could measure just so we could actually see. So then people would actually know how much you're getting. So let's see. This is the worst measuring tool to pour. Okay, so that was a quarter cup. So it's probably half a cup. Yeah, it's a half a cup. Okay, so there you go. There, now you know. But you just kind of want to saturate. And if in the morning you wake up and it's too spongy, too like sticky, then just add a little almond, like a dash of almond milk, and stir it around, and it'll be nice and creamy and you won't even notice. Okay, so there's your milk. And then I like to do a squirt of agave. So this is where I a little bit deviate from containers. I don't even know what agave is on. I feel like I don't even use enough to like write home about, and there are so much worse, but I just do like one little squirt. Okay. So if you're really particular, you could skip that. You could do cinnamon. You could do a vanilla extract. You could do, you could even do honey if you wanted. You could do a lot of different things to make it work for you. You could find other alternatives. You could use caramel extract and make like salted caramel overnight oats. I've never made that. I have no idea if it would taste any good, but I'm sure you could look up recipes on Pinterest. And if you go to Pinterest and you type in overnight oat recipes, you guys, you'll be set for life. There's bajillions of them, and they're like so much fancier than mine. It's not even funny. But again, I just make them fast. Avery eats them. Brooksy eats them. So I don't mess around. It's super simple, and that is my overnight oat recipe. Okay. Any questions? Thoughts? I just put these in my fridge. They're nice because they just slide right in. They're easy to take if like you're going somewhere. They're awesome. They're so awesome. Okay, so let's the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up I'm going to pull up two things. Hang on. Okay, so let's pretend like you are brand new to the whole shebang of the 21 Day Fix, of containers, of all of it. Okay, you're starting your whole new routine, and if your coach didn't send you something, or maybe you just jumped in, you don't know where to start, the best place I start is Beachbody On Demand. Okay, so you're going to go to Beachbody On Demand, and you're going to go to 21 Day Fix because it's the original. It's where it all started. They're just going to give you what you need. Then I go into Program Materials, and I go to the Start Here guide. Okay, so here's your Start Here guide. I'm going to show you where else you can go for this information. Where's my mouse? Okay, so she's going to give you this super simple right here. Okay, so she's going to give you this. Wow, does it let you type it in? Does it actually work? No. That would be really cool if it worked, huh? But I guess it doesn't. Okay, so you put in your weight and you times it by 11. That's going to give your caloric baseline. Then you add 400. That's your maintenance calories. Then you, depending on your, does it tell you in here? I've always just stuck to what this is. I've never found that it deviated enough. Then you go here, and then this is kind of your burn. You could, and if you're not working out as much, like let's say you're only going to be burning like 450, you could try that there. I'm trying to think of, where does that break that down, Joey? Do you remember? I feel like it's the Ultimate Fix portion, or Portion Ultimate Fix, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's in the big book.
The big guy. Yeah. So if you are someone who always loved the containers and you dabbled in 21 Day Fix, I feel like where I learned the most is the Ultimate Portion Fix system. I'll show you kind of what you get when you sign up for that, so you can kind of see. But man, does it break it down in it just breaks it down so well. It talks about breastfeeding. It talks about nursing. It talks about vegan and intermittent fasting, and talks about all of it. I feel like it just takes everything to the next level of containers and breaks it down to a place of like, wow, that's what I'm missing. That's what I'm missing. Because when I did Ultimate Portion Fix, I felt like my mind was blown every time she talked. It was just so good. She talks so much about sugar and like why juice is so bad, and like how much sugar we're pouring down our kids' throats. And it's just a really impactful program. I will show you that. Anyway, so then you get your calorie target, and that doesn't mean that you're going to go start counting calories. That is not what that means. That's just going to give you right here, and you're going to get this plan right. These are the number of containers you get. So let's say you're like, Kim, I don't have any containers. That's okay, because you're going to hop over here to Pinterest, and you're going to say 21-day fix eat containers. You're going to get this nice little thing right here that tells you exactly how much. Right. So if you don't have 17 containers like I do, or you can go onto Amazon and you can buy them, or you can go onto 21-day fix, or you can get them from your coach too. I'm not trying to tell you don't get them from your coach, but if you don't want to buy more things, you can get all of these. However, you really don't need them. Using that as a reason why you need containers is not, you don't need containers just to tell you how to eat, because not only that, but most of the food, now you can go in here. So we're back into this, the 21-day fix. If you go to nutrition, you can get oops, I didn't mean to pull that up. Sorry. Where'd it go? You can go to your food list, and here's literally every single thing, exactly how much. So funny story, up until maybe 4 months ago, I always, when I was going to use this as my green and I was going to do baby carrots, I just filled this full of baby carrots. If you go to green and you look up baby carrots, where are they? Right here. 10 medium baby carrots. That's it. Not a container. Just 10. 10 fills like half. So things like that, you just don't even know. Apparently, if you really want to eat super, super clean, according to Autumn, it's she has it listed from cleanest to dirtiest, not dirty, because I don't want to get it into the difference between organic and not. That's not what I mean by dirty. I mean your healthiest choices are at the top of her list, if that makes sense. So it's funny because I'm pretty sure the majority of mine are down at the bottom of most of her lists, but they're not bad. It's not, you can't not eat them, but she would rather you try to aim for the top half of the list. However, I eat baby carrots every day, and it's quite low. So
where did you say I missed where you clicked on this? Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to show you again. I'm under the 21-day fix again in Beachbody On Demand.
Okay.
And I went down to nutrition.
Okay.
And then I clicked on food list.
Food list. Okay, cool. That seems super helpful.
Yeah, and print them and have them when you go out for dinner. They're so good. And if you go to Pinterest and let's say you want 21-day fix vegan food list. Just say you're vegan and you're don't really feel like going into Beachbody On Demand. Here's your vegan food list, right there for you. So print that out and away you go. Guys, everything exists on here. This is what I was also going to show you. If you don't even want to go to Beachbody On Demand, maybe you don't have Beachbody On Demand. You could say 21-day fix container count. Sorry. You can go to, he's in the process of learning how that gets attention. So it's loud and really loud right out of the gate. It makes you, where is this? Why do I never find it? I save it because I use it all the time. And of course it's not popping up for me. 21-day fix. Cheat. I know that's what it is. It's there's a travel one. So that's kind of nice to have if you want. Oh, there it is. Here it is. I'm like, where's the original? Okay, so here's like a really, when you go in here, if you find, you can pull this up, and this tells you exactly that same equation, calorie weight times 11, your baseline plus 400, da, 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 da. So if you don't have Beachbody On Demand, you can find all of this in Pinterest. I'm pretty sure you can find it if you just Googled it too, but either way, just kind of wanted to show you. Okay, so now that you know how much you need to eat, this is where the real, I don't want to say problem comes, because it's not a problem. I have a, hold on. It's always so small printed here. Drive. I have my, okay. Let me know if you want me to press play. Or, I can move into there. I'll sit with Hudson. I can sit with Hudson or Brooks, whichever you want. Whichever you think is closer. Hudson's closer? Okay. Yeah, can you just put Mickey on? Because I don't have a phone. Okay, so if you just take your, I'm just going to borrow this little land, even though this is for carb cycling, which is a whole different story for a different day. Okay, so if you remember, I definitely don't get, so I'm going to just pull up. So I'm basing this off of the I get 4 veggies, 2 fruits, 4 proteins, 2 carbs, 1 healthy fat, 1 seeds and dressings, and 3 oils and nut butters, okay? So when you go into your thing, I only get, I'm just gonna delete all the content here. So you can make your own in Excel, however much food you get. So I get 3 greens, I get 2 yellows. Okay, how many blues did I get? 1 blue. Blue's one that I have a hard time getting in. I never eat blues. Not a cheese person. I know that's most people's downfalls. Or avocado. I hate avocado. All right. So, and then 3 oils and butters. Okay, so we'll just delete this last row. Okay, so here is like your basis for creating your content, okay? So I'm gonna base it off of meal 1 for me is overnight oats, okay? So that's meal 1. Okay. Okay. And then it kind of counted as a teaspoon. I'm going to go ahead and count it as a teaspoon because it has that almond milk, even though knowing I was a little shy. But let's say I put a splash of almond milk in my coffee. You know what I mean? Like those aren't the ones you're like super concerned about. Okay, then meal 2 for me is my Shakeology. But I do Shakeology with a greens boost and a half of a banana. So I'm going to show you, where's that container? Let me just pull up. Okay, so if you look here, a banana is actually half of a large. So 1 purple container is a half of a banana, not a full banana, a half. Okay, so when you go into, I'm going to say meal 2. Okay, and then I'm going to show you where Shakeology is a red. Okay, so your Shakeology, somewhere on here, right here. Okay, there's Shakeology. So that's meal 2. Okay, go ahead, I'm ready. Okay, and then obviously it has, You want to come sit with me? Do you need to sit with me? Come here. Come here. Hi. Are we watching Mickey Mouse? Are we watching Mickey Mouse? Okay. Okay. So back to, oh my gosh, sit down. Okay, so Shakeology is your meal too, because I use a half a cup of almond milk. Okay, so there's meal 2, and then I had the Greens Boost. Well, the Greens Boost, Hudson's already had his milk. Oh, that's for him. He didn't have any. It was just like a splash. Yeah. What are you doing? Come here. Come here. You're not sitting on the couch. No. Look at. This is faking. What a bummer. Okay, home. Do you see that fake? It's because he doesn't get his own way. Wonder where he learns that from. Yikes. These children are creating monsters. Not me, them. Blaming them. Okay, so Greens Boost, which if you aren't familiar what a Greens Boost is, it's just Beachbody makes boosts that you can add to your Shakeology. I love it because I know it's like I'm getting an extra dose of dense greens in my shake, and I don't find that it wrecks the flavor in all of them. It does change it in some of them. So like, you know, you might, okay, that's good. You might find that it's in some of them, it's not really that great. So definitely try and like play with the flavor. I like it in vanilla. I find that it's great. Joey, do you use Greens Boost?
Yeah.
What do you put it in?
I put it in all of them.
And you don't notice?
No, I mean, it changes the color, but you can't taste it.
Yeah. See, and like the only one I think I've noticed, cafe latte, I feel like I have to have a lot of extracts or something. Otherwise, I'm like, oh, that's weird flavor. But
I like that flavor. So
I'm also kind of particular, you know. All right, meal 3 is when this is my worst meal because it's chaos. There's usually like kids and things, and it always ends bad. I don't know why. So this is when I literally eat my 10 baby carrots and some lunch meat. It's really sad, but you know what, you guys, again, my life right now is conducive to fast, and that works for me. It doesn't bother me that it's not some, you know, lavish meal. However, if you wanted to, you are destroying that, but we're just going to go with it. If you wanted to have a salad with some chicken on top, that's going to count for, you know, make sure you just have your 1 cup of lettuce and your 1 cup of, you know, chopped, or not 1 cup, but your 1 red of chicken, and then your oil or your dressing would count as your orange. You could put some seeds on there, which would be so good. Some pumpkin seeds, or what else? What else do you need? Some pumpkin seeds, sunflower seeds. You could put some cheese, some avocado. You could have like, you know, if you have a couple yellows, this is a great place to have like a piece of bread with kind of like an avocado toast, but then I would add like a protein to that. So, you know, I don't know if you put like, I'm not an avocado toast person, but maybe some eggs on there or something. I feel like if you have more containers to work with and you're not allergic to eggs like me, you probably have a lot more choices to deal with. But eggs, I can't eat eggs, so that basically takes all of my choices. I'm probably the worst person to make this meal plan because I don't eat things that normal people eat because they all bother my stomach. Thank you, children. I never used to be allergic to any of these foods. Okay, so I eat 10 baby carrots lunch meat, but you can see how you can play here and just make it up. Whatever you kind of want to have, you put there. Meal 4, I usually do a Beach Bar. The new chocolate almond vegan bars are, I'm like, they're the best bars ever. My husband told me, he's like, there are more coming, right? Because that bar is money. He's like, it's just so good. So here's where I'll have like Beach Bar, an apple. No, thank you. Oh, you would get mad. You're crazy. And I could have like a string cheese here. I could have some almonds here, and just make sure, of course, that you're eating as many. So like you get 12 whole almonds, or 8 cashews, or 20 pistachios, or, maybe coconut milk. You're looking for, I don't know, canned coconut. I don't know what you're doing with that, but you could make like, this is when like green beans with feta cheese are so good, or with like some almond slices on there. That's like a great afternoon snack if you're not, there's just things I like to eat. Or like a tomato. You can make like the little zucchinis with the tomato and then the mozzarella cheese. Like there's so many fun options to play with when you have like blues and greens in the afternoon, and such great choices. Brixie, can you maybe keep it down? Seriously, talk to Nikki in a quiet voice. Do you know what that word means? No. Okay, so a Beach Bar counts as a half of a red and a half of a yellow. So I'm going to do 12 almonds. Okay, so we're going to do meal 4 with an asterisk, knowing that I might need to make up some protein, which is usually what I throw in dinner. So make sure your apple is the right size. I think you get apple is like a small, right? Apple slice or 1 small apple. So sometimes those Fujis are like seriously the size of your head. I'm thinking that's probably like 2 servings of purple. So make sure you pay attention to those things. See, that's where like little things sneak up and you're like, what is happening? Now you're walking? You don't walk? Jeez Louise, this child. Okay, so there's meal 4, and then I'm gonna have the almonds, so that's meal 4. Oops, I don't want to asterisk because it counts. Okay. All right, now meal 5 is dinner. So this is where you basically just need to make sure you are eating what you're having for containers. Oh, I forgot meal 4 in the purple. I don't eat yellows for dinner. I try not to eat yellows after 3 p.m. That's just my own. Usually I have that meal 4 at 3 p.m. For no real reason other than for a long time I was very stuck, and I changed that one little thing, and I'm telling you, the plateau weight and the 50 pounds went away. So for me, I just don't do I don't do potatoes at dinner. I don't do starches. I don't do pastas. I stay away from all of that. I just think it sits in our bodies and it doesn't process and it holds on. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but it's helped me for 6-7 years now. I did that before I even knew Beachbody. So for meal 5, I'm just going to write dinner, and I'm going to write like 1 green, 1.5, 1.5 reds, and then I need an orange. So that's right. I like coconut unsweetened shredded in my shake. That's usually where I get I also keep pumpkin seeds just randomly at Ross. So if I need like a little snack, I'll just grab an orange container of pumpkin seeds and away I go. And then your orange or your teaspoons, careful. is your extra virgin olive oil. So I cook all my food with extra virgin olive oil. So this is like my meal 5. This is meal 5. And meal 5. What's wrong? Okay. And then let's just say for the sake of, I'm going to just put in this little concoction, 1 orange of unsweetened coconut. Okay. And that's going to be my meal 2. So I basically eat 5 small meals all day long. Now you might see this and be like, Kim, that's so boring. Like, aren't you so bored of the same foods? This is where I think that you have to, I change up my dinners always. My dinners are different. We don't eat the same thing. We eat the same thing. Like this Monday, like today we had this ground turkey skillet thing, and we'll eat that next Tuesday. But then I won't eat that skillet for probably like, I don't even know if we'll ever have it again. Like we just don't. Oh, it's okay. You're good. Shake it off. Yeah, I know. It was your head. You're all right. We just don't, that's something that we just don't really play with, or we play with the dinner part of it. And like, I play with my shake a lot, because I feel like that kind of gives me variety. If you have an issue with like the same stuff, there's so much variety that you can do here. Like this was like easy for me to fill in really fast, but you could, sky's the limit. Like there are so many options for you to kind of have. Let me just stop and ask any questions so far on any of that, or thoughts.
I think, yes.
Yeah.
To me, it seems, and I'm not, I feel like it seems like so small amount of things to eat.
Of food?
But maybe it's because do you not eat meat? Or no, you just said turkey. You do eat meat.
I eat meat. I have the lunch meat, and then
the lunch meat, yeah.
And then for dinner, I would say I'm like chicken. I rotate between, I usually either have chicken, shrimp, salmon. Well, salmon and shrimp kind of rotate. Sausage. We do a lot of chicken sausage. Ground turkey. We don't eat a ton of red meat. Someone asked me the other day, like, you don't eat red meat? And I'm like, it's funny. I don't realize I don't eat red meat, but I guess I don't really eat red meat.
Okay.
Not that you can't. It's on the list. I mean, it's there.
Yeah. I think, like, if I were to do, like, maybe other people feel this way. I've never actually successfully done the containers. For some reason, they intimidate me. That made a little more sense. But I think the quantity of what I'm eating is massively more than what you're eating.
What's your container count?
Well, no, I'm not doing right now. I'm not doing the containers, so it's not comparable. But just looking up the pure quantity, like a breakfast might be like a slice of toast and eggs, and
yep,
that's a good breakfast for me if I do that.
Yep.
And I'm eating probably 5 times a day, but also lots more, which is obviously why I'm not losing weight. I mean, like, clearly, but
that's, I did the same thing when I first started. I didn't have the containers, so I went by the first recipe that was given. And so because it said like the breakfast frittata was 8 servings, I said, okay, I divided up in 8 servings, and I thought that was a ton of food for the lunch, the snack, the dinner. I just felt like I was overeating. And then I purchased the containers. And then I've been doing that, but I still feel like I'm maybe overeating. I don't know.
What container count are you in?
The second one, Plan B.
Plan B.
Uh-huh.
So I think the craziest part about the containers is, like, you'll see my chicken tonight, and it's like it doesn't look like a lot of food, but I don't find myself hungry at all.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like, I know if I did that right now, I would be like,
well, you would be hungry because I'm sure you're not. you're probably, I mean, do the calculations and see where you
Yeah.
are.
Right.
But I will say that even those that like, most people, when they do their calculations and they end up in plan C or B, I would say the biggest complaint is I have too much food. It's too much food for me. And I think that then people try to undereat or they undercut things and they stop eating the calories. And that's where I think sometimes the weight gain comes from, because I think that we think we don't need as much food, but the reality is we need more food. We need good food, not bad food.
Yeah.
We need good food going into our bodies, nourishing our bodies well so that we can, keep burning the whole day through. Now, if you're eating all of those calories in one sitting, no, then I think that's when people also gain weight, because then they have, they're just like, they're eating like 2 greens, 2 reds, a purple, a yellow, 2 yellows, like all in one sitting. And then they go sit down or they go to bed, and it's like, that's not what she meant either. Like, she wants you to be eating throughout the day.
Right.
And then I also feel when I'm drinking all the water that I feel too full to eat my snack or my lunch.
Yeah.
So I
would say, are you on the high end of the B or on the low end of the B? Or are you just a good solid B?
I think I'm right in the middle of the B.
Right in the middle.
Yeah.
I would try to pay attention to your body, see where you feel like maybe you could stick an extra container in a shake. I mean, look how easy. I was reading Carl Deichler's post the other day. Carl Deichler's the CEO of Beachbody, in case you didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
And he was talking about his shake, and he was adding a green container of cauliflower, frozen cauliflower rice. And it's like, do you hear the siren?
Yeah.
I know. His face was so funny. It's okay. It's not on there. And he was like, what he put in there, I'm like, your shake is a great place to hide stuff. I mean, think about it. If you had, I don't know how many more containers. Let's actually here.
I add spinach to mine a lot.
Yeah.
Because I have trouble eating so many veggies in a day.
So like when you're getting into like, okay, here's plan B, I feel like 1 extra green. That's a pretty easy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, keep reading your books.
So if I add an extra green, do I take from the yellow, or what do you mean? Like you're saying on plan B, if you add an extra green?
No, I'm sorry. I meant in comparison to the meal plan we just made. Because like that was only 3 green. Oh, 4 greens. Oh no, that was the same. And like I feel, oh wait, you get 4 greens?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm short a green.
Yeah.
Why did I think I only got, because I did it recently and it showed some other calculation showed me, oh gosh, y'all, plan A. Selling myself short.
No wonder you're losing weight.
Or no wonder I feel like I need more. Like I need, some, oops, oh gosh. I would probably put that in, either actually have a salad and make like lettuce and like 2 servings, because lettuce, when you do your serving of greens for lettuce, I feel like you're like, what? That's it? But it'd be nice to do like a servings of green of lettuce and maybe like some cabbage. I always like cabbage in my greens. Then you could, you could make that easily into my extra green. But, and then as far as what else did you get? What else, other ones do you have more of? Like I feel like when you're getting into plan C, that's where you may need to get creative, because you're talking 5 greens. Like 5 greens is a lot of greens. So if you could do like a green scoop and a thing, or like a thing of cauliflower rice, which does not change your shake flavor at all, plus like a greens boost or some spinach, that's 2 right out of the gate. Then, I mean, like really you don't get a ton. So maybe you do, you do 20 carrots, or you do, for dinner, you have, you only get 5 medium Brussels sprouts. I feel like 10 Brussels sprouts would be an easy fix, like that's still not that much. 20 asparaguses are kind of a lot. I probably wouldn't do that.
So if you jump from, say, me, who's eating terribly right now, to doing like this, like if I calculated it, I think if I calculated before, I remember, I think I was an A, which felt like impossible to me as far as food. You're probably hungry for a while, right? Until you adjust.
I would say you're going to be hungry for a minute, but didn't you start this when you were breastfeeding too, Vicki?
I probably did. I'm
And I
still
feel like-
breastfeeding. I'm almost finished breastfeeding. Like,
Okay,
I almost am not breastfeeding at this point.
I feel like, I mean, I wouldn't add calories then if you're almost done, but back then, like I would have, like when I was breastfeeding, I did plan A, but I added usually a green and a red. And if I felt like I needed it, a yellow,
Mhm.
which really is
Yeah.
just plan B,
Right.
you know,
Sure. Yeah.
because I didn't, and I mean, that's another issue with people. They think, you know, I'm breastfeeding, I need to add that 500 calories. Well, even if you add your 500 calories here, then you're in this category up here. Actually, you're almost in plan C, aren't you? Yeah. Which is really only one more green, one more red, and two more yellows. But that's where I kind of wouldn't eat the two more yellows unless I felt like my milk supply was dying or I worked out really hard and the baby was extra hungry or something. So I don't know. I think you'd be surprised if I were you and you wanted to like give it a try. I would probably do I would probably start, and then if you felt like, man, I'm starving, maybe do an extra green, just because I feel like it's kind of like free, you know, it's not like the worst.
It's vegetables, yeah.
Yeah.
And I like vegetables.
Do an extra green if you need an extra red, and don't like. I think when we think like, oh, this is so many little calories, what are our first instincts? You go to the things you love, right? Like I'm going to do extra yellow and a thing of peanut butter and an extra, you know, that's what I'm thinking. Like, I'm like, ooh, I get extra today. I'm going all green or all yellow, which actually brings me to my next point. So if you're someone like me who likes to have pizza once a week, just save your containers for the day, you guys. You don't have to skip it. You don't have to not have these things. If you want a glass of wine counts as a yellow. Just skip the yellow in the middle of the day. You want to go out for coffee with your girlfriend and you know it's going to be, you know, you're going to your favorite place, then skip the yellow for the day. Don't think you have to like give up everything. Just know that your life is balanced. You know what I mean? You want balance, and it's okay to want and have those things, but don't make it an everyday occurrence, but have that plan sheet. Like I make my own pizza, so I know kind of what's going into it, and I don't go crazy on the cheese, but I definitely probably eat more than a blue. But I also, you know, kind of shy away from blues pretty much my entire week. So if you know what you need to like feel like you're not on a diet because you don't want a diet, then make sure you do that. Don't run yourself ragged, you know, unless you're trying to like compete for some competition, or you're going up against, like, you're trying to be the next Miss America. That's what I was going for. You're going to feel good in your skin if you know, like, I ate, you know, 7 days a week, I ate at 80% spot on, or Monday through Friday, I ate like literally, you could call Autumn and you would be proud of what you had to share with her. But then, you know, Saturday, you already know you're going to have a blip, or Saturday morning, you're having French toast, and Saturday afternoon, you're going out for sandwiches, and then Saturday night, you're having pizza. I mean, that's kind of giving it all up, you know, like you're not going to find freedom in that, because that's just indulging in all the things. Pick something, you know, you want to go out for breakfast. Okay, great. Go for that French toast. Enjoy it to the max. But then when you go home for dinner that night, choose the salad, you know, like have salad instead of the pizza. Even if everyone else is having pizza, like know that you had that French toast and it wasn't a cheat. It was planned and you enjoyed it and you moved on. But it can't be all the meals. And I think that that's what happens is we eat one meal wrong in the morning and we say we screwed it up for the rest of the day. But if on Monday you're looking at your calendar and you're like, oh, we're all going out for that girls' brunch on Saturday. I'm going to eat so good. I'm going to enjoy the heck out of that brunch. And then Saturday afternoon, I'm going to clean it up. Maybe I'm going to have a shake for dinner with extra dose of spinach. But that's my 2 cents. And I think that that's why I've never felt like I was on a diet. I see you, boy. I see you trying to come jack my computer. Yeah, you monkey. What are you trying to say? Can you tell them? I know. You got snot running on your face and drool. You're just a real. We're having issues with a really late PM nap. It's like he won't wake up. I think he wants to go to bed at 2 in the afternoon till tomorrow morning is my theory. Anyway, any questions, thoughts? Joey, did I forget anything?
No, I think the biggest thing I noticed, because when I started, I had all the containers and stuff, but I wasn't really following them because I was scared of them, I guess, or I just didn't know what to do with them. But once I sat down and like worked on figuring it out and figured out what works for me, it's so much easier to meal plan and have your food and everything. I never feel hungry. And I'm on some weird anti-inflammatory diet right now, so I can't hardly eat anything. But I've had to kind of juggle. But it's once you figure out your containers and start working on that and have that food list, because I would go through and I did like Cam, except for I'm not as fancy. I had a piece of paper and I had everything written down and figured out when I wanted to eat things and put in the foods I like to eat where I needed to eat it. And, you'll figure out what works for you, but don't let it scare you, because once you get it all kind of figured out, it's so easy.
I feel like but you know what? Make your own food list.
Yeah.
If you're green, what you eat, and then carry that. Like, I don't ever, I was looking at the list and I'm laughing. It's like water chestnuts, water crescents, or whatever.
Right.
I'm like, who eats those? And why are they number 2 on your list? Probably because they're made of water. But, make your list, what you eat for you. And then it's not even confusing at all, because like if you're sitting there and you're staring at, this and you're like, oh my gosh, look at all this food I can eat. But really, like, who eats, I shouldn't say who eats this, because I know lots do, but like, I don't eat any game. We don't even really eat fish except for salmon. The fruit, I eat literally 2 fruits ever. Like, what you eat. Take this list right here and then make your own, whether you make it on an Excel spreadsheet or you write it down,
And I used a highlighter and went through and highlighted the ones that
you like.
Yeah.
But I think that people look at this and they're like, oh my gosh, what do I, what in the what?
Yeah, it took me forever to prepare meals, because I'm like, okay, what's in the yellow? Oh my gosh, I couldn't find what I'm looking for,
Right.
or it was just like, this is taking way too long.
Yeah.
So I've been sticking with like this, like the same thing.
And do that until you get super comfortable, and then you're going to be like, oh wow, this is like really simple. And one of the biggest questions, I think, and then we'll wrap it up because I know it's been an hour. You're okay. You're fine. I know you want to go to bed. If you go in here and you go to like 21-day fix dinners, okay, in Pinterest, you're going to find 47,000 coaches who are better than we are, but don't switch, okay, because they're not. They just make really fancy meal plans.
Nah.
Which we send if you're on Shakeology at this point in the game, you're getting a meal plan pretty sure in your weekly inbox. If you are not, please make sure, tell us, because as a team, we should be sending these. If you go into somebody's meal plan, somebody that does things a little fancier than we do, I'm just kidding. But if you go to here and you find something that she eats, they're going to break down what they made it. So like, here's skinny. What happened?
On the Beachbody blog too, there's all those recipes and they have them all broken out at the bottom too.
They do. And they tell you exactly how many containers that this is going to go into. You don't have to overthink it. Shoot, if you, for the first year of being a container person, find ones that just have the container count. And that's it.
Yeah.
Don't even try to use, I can't even find it on, it doesn't matter. This girl didn't do that great. I'm just kidding. Come here. I might have to go, guys. He's just sad and mad. And come here. I hold you. Are you gonna just throw a fit? That's good too. Oh my gosh.
Do your kids eat the meals? Does your family eat the dinner all together? What you make?
we eat dinner together, but the only people who eat real food in my house are Brooks and Avery. Hudson will eat salmon. Everybody's pretty different. Everybody's like very, very, I don't know. We're all just kind of, this is my 2 cents on kids, and then I gotta go. But find what works for your family in the season that you're in. Do not stress yourself out that they're eating chicken nuggets every day. They're not gonna eat chicken nuggets every day. And I can tell you that because Avery ate this bar, and I'm telling you, it was like a Z bar, and they would run out and we would have to go driving from town to town. And you know what? She eats everything now. That's not how she stayed. Little kids are frustrating, and make them try. We have a rule in our house. Once you're 5, you have no choice. You have to try everything. But Carter eats yogurt and chicken nuggets, and that pretty much sums up his diet. I mean, he eats and he eats tons of fruits. And I actually just came from my pediatrician's office, and he's like, if they don't eat a ton of vegetables, eat a ton of fruits. And I was like, well, they drink Shakeology, and that has and he was perfect. You're hiding everything in there. Find what, put riced cauliflower in everything. Spaghetti sauce, Alfredo sauce, macaroni and cheese. Like, you can hide it because it's tasteless. And now you're getting extra containers, you're getting all those extra things, and you're not cooking stuff that you won't eat. And I think I kind of have this rule, and I learned early on, and it was probably just because I had so many kids so close. I refuse to make food that nobody's going to eat. I can't. I went to Africa and I saw so much starvation, and it just broke my heart. And if you don't finish what you get for breakfast, it goes in your lunch. If you don't finish what you eat in your lunch, it goes on your dinner plate. And that's the rule in our house. Like, you eat what we give you because we give you what we know you're going to eat. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, good.
So that's just my 2 cents. And if they get sassy and they waste food, I bring up the Africa videos and I just show them. And I'm like, you guys need to learn to be grateful. What we have is beyond. We are so fortunate in so many ways. And all that food that you're going to throw in the trash or you're going to hide because you don't think we're watching. I see everything. We see it all. And if I don't, God does. So you can't get away. You can't get away with it. And, we sponsor a ton of kids in Africa, and I talk about them. We talk about Regina and, what's the other little boy's name? Am I banking? Anyway, you get my point. But at this point, Avery eats everything, Brooks eats everything, and Carter and Hudson eat pieces of it. And then I just make the fillers for them,
That's cool. Kids and food. That's a whole nother thing.
And that's a nightmare. And I refuse. It's so infuriating that I had to draw the line in the sand.
Yeah.
My mom comes over and she gets so stressy, and I'm like, oh my gosh, here's the fire truck. Wow, where is it? Where's the fire truck?
He's so cute. Oh my god.
He
He's just pretty. You're cute, buddy.
He is.
Hi.
I miss little kids. My baby is 22.
Aww.
Yeah, they're all grown. But when they were
grown.
little, I always told them, at least try it once.
Yep.
Try something once. And I've been very fortunate. They've all been really good eaters. So
That's so
now
good.
they very fortunate. But, at least try it once. And if it's something you don't like, then we'll find something else.
Yep.
Yeah.
And look at all the things I hated as a kid, and I eat them all now. Except for peas. You put a pea in my food, I will spit it out or hide it under my napkin. And I'll send a bag of them to Regina in Africa. Just kidding. Bye-bye. Say bye-bye. Good job. I love his waving. It's so cute.
Good night.
Yeah, bye-bye. He's so cute.
But yeah, so don't let it stress you out. Find what works. I think the biggest problem with containers is people don't just give it. You got to give it a try, and you got to try for a while.
Yeah.
You can't just give it a one and done. You got to try, and you got to see how it goes. And go from there. Okay, gotta go.
Definitely more enlightening. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Hey, okay, well, we'll be back. I think next tribe call, we're going to talk about to be mindset. So,
Yay.
Okay.
and then the one after that, I think we're going to talk about to be mindset and containers together. Because that's what I do. So, we're going to, at least we have the next 3 months covered. But if there's anything you want to hear about in this call, then just, let your coach know, and we'll be sure to get it on the schedule.
Okay.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Hey,
Bye. Thank
photo
you.
of
All right.
us.
Bye. Bye, Lee.
Joey, did you take a
Bye.
photo of us?
What?
Did you take a
Take
photo?
a
of us?
picture?
Yeah. Even if it's just with your phone. Can you say cheese?
It's not very good. Well, okay.
Did you get it?
I think so.
Here, I can take one too. I got it.
Okay.
I got your arm. Okay, here we go. Oh, here we go. Ricky, look at the fire truck. Go over here. Oh, you're not gonna look now. Okay. Cheese. All right, got it.
All right.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye.
Good night.